I am back. Now we hope this task goes a little more smoothly. So today I want to build a few decks on streams. I know I have a lot of places to look. Hmm. Seems I experiencing some trust issues. Anyway, I here representing Barbados, representing 246. That's very fun. My name is Malchijah. I am a Magic the Gathering. I would like to say content creator because I play the game, I stream the game, I play on Arena, I play in paper. I also host a weekly online tournament or on Sundays called Maj Sunday Series, where the format is usually standard, but last week we played some historic. You can find us on mtgmelee.com. You can also see our results for our recent tournaments on MTG Top 8. It feels good to be on the site that I use to when I'm observing what the meta looks like. I'm glad to be contributing in some way towards uh, what the meta is. So today I want to walk through some builds and actually build live for my audience. I have a frequent streamer called Anthony who frequent viewer who's gonna jump back on and together me and Anthony are gonna craft the deck because I definitely have the inventory to build most things, with the exception of Omna simply because uh, that supply has not yet come. So this is my Zendikar Rising stuff, and we're going to be pulling from here, as well as my standard collection uh, shown. If you can follow on the screen to my left, it seems like only one screen is moving, the other one is stuck. It looks like. Hopefully, it resumes shortly. Oh, I think I understand what happened. I disconnected from one or more Wi-Fi sources. Wave when you see this. I'm sorry. Uh, Send another message and I'll check in again. It seems like my two cameras have, or my two devices have stuck. Alright, so that one is back in operation. Uh, let's see the other one. This is interesting. I've also never seen this one before. Let's hope that this is better for viewing. Hopefully that is better. Excellent. So it looks like I am 26%, less than 10 seconds. Okay, that's acceptable. I can live with less than 10 seconds. All right, so today I want to build live on stream. Um, if somebody would send me the link, I can jump back on. Anyhow, I'm sorry, this is a live stream. People will be passing in and out. I can't be sticking it, even though there is a sticker. All right, let's go. My name is Malchijah Harding. I am here to do some magic. I would like to build a deck with you guys live on stream. I have a 10-second delay for all live persons, but I'm going to do my best to mitigate it. While I'm here, let me talk about the two decks that I have partially completed. I will love some help with refining the list, and that is Rakdos Croxa. Um, I really appreciate the support. That is Rakdos Croxa, and I'm sending this to some friends to hop on and build with me. What the grand finals are playing, there is a chance that we may sit and watch the grand finals playing as well. I have the capacities to do so from one of my monitors, and I think that that is something to explore if you guys are interested in that. Yo, welcome, Gamers Core. Gamers Core is a long time supporter of the stream. My brethren from time and time back. He plays at our local game store, uh, the anime spot in Barbados. So it is very, very, very good to see members of the community continue to support. And I will, I'm absolutely thrilled to see that. Give thanks for passing through. Big up to Wayne Tigris, day one supporter of the stream initiatives. And with that being said, let us build some decks. So the question is, there are two decks on the table right now, and there's obviously a lot of inventory to build some decks from. But what do you want to see, and what do we want to build first? Do we want to build Rakdos Proxer, or do we want to build that Gruul Landfall deck, Landfall slash Adventures deck? Both sounds interesting concepts, and neither of them are Omnath, so I'm super open. But if there's another build, obscure build, uh, once is standard. I have the last set's standard cards, but I don't have anything much older than that. At least not full play sets of stuff. So while I wait for some feedback, uh, Curtis, Croxus, Croxus. All right, so Croxus gets the vote. I think Croxus is this. Right, I'll admit that I did some work on Croxus beforehand, but I can get you what I have so far, and we can recommend some changes. I build decks. I try to build decks along a duality that fill a duality of roles. I believe that half of the deck should be accomplishing one function. Yeah, that scene. I understand what you meant. I try to build decks that split along two functions. One function of the deck tells the story of what the deck is doing, and the other one functions as a backup plan or a complementary plan that rides alongside it. So let's go through Croxa and see if we can pick up that. I'm gonna put my lands one side. I'm gonna try to do things according to the mana curve. Ah, I wonder if you guys can see this table or if you prefer me to put them out on the other table. So I have more space out here. And we could do that. Yeah, we could definitely do that. Okay. So let me use this screen. Maybe we see better over here. Alright, let me try that. Forgive me for fiddling with the we'll make this other screen bigger as we need it. But for right now, I don't think we need it. Let us focus on putting this deck together. That's the benefit of having Streamlab OBS. We could definitely, um, absolutely, I definitely want to test decks. That's something I'm absolutely 100% down. Let's see. Sorry we'll be late. Alright, so there we go. So the first half of my deck is removal deck. I'm featuring three Heartless Acts, three Murderous Raiders, two copies of Agonizing Remorse, a full playset of Bloodchisters, and the 12 of these represent my coverage, my removal coverage. Um, the the Agonizing Remorse supports the Croxa game plan, and I'm running three Croxa. And it also allows me to take out threats that I can't otherwise beat, such as enchantment. Felidar Retreat is one such enchantment that will present significant challenges to this set. I'm running four copies of Maya Triton, and that Maya Triton is simply put predominantly to ensure that the deck hits what it's supposed to hit and goes off, if you will. I'm also running four copies of Time It Calls the Dead. Sorry, Maya Triton gains life, creates a decent blocker, it trades above its weight class, and it also fills the graveyard for Uro. Right? I'm running four copies of Time It Calls the Dead because it does the same thing, creates a body on the board, fills the graveyard for Uro, and potentially strikes. Right? And in itself, presents on the third turn presents an extra card in the graveyard for Uro. So it's a very versatile. Now these cards I'm not sold on. I saw somebody on YouTube playing these magmatic channeler, and they look good. They benefit from the graveyard being full. It says as long as there are four more instants and sorceries in the graveyard, magmatic channeler gets +3/+1, making it a 4/4. Tassa is a solid card, and it allows for repeatable mill. Anthony is building a mill deck. He says he's thinking about running Tassa Deep Dwelling. And Tassa in a mill deck for repeatable mill effects is honestly a solid plan because Gyruda, while it was a combo that could also efficiently mill out your opponent if it hit the right spot. So maybe efficiently isn't the right word. And then to round off my removal suite, I also play four copies of Bone Crusher Journey. And that functions for dual roles. It functions partially as a shock, as like the best shock in the format right now, and it also functions as a forgery body that trades well and presents a 5 turn clock. And then, of course, I didn't have the fourth Croxer. So I thinking, well, one thing, I thinking Phoenix of Ash as another repeatable threat that I could dredge up from the graveyard. But I'm not sure how I'm feeling about it. Croxer has now gone up to like $17. I'm not sure about picking up the final copy in paper. What do you think about Phoenix of Ash as a replacement? Well, chap, thinking about that. I did, as you notice, this is 32 cards, which means that I got room for, depends on the amount of land I'm running, four more cards or five more cards. Fortunately, I am running um 20 land, and I'm running a few more multi-dual face cards. And I can get to them last. So which means that I opening up something like eight more slots. And for them eight slots, I can't think of a better creature to run in them slots than Rankle Master of Pranks. This is a good top end. I was running three Rankle, and then I saw Covert Go Blue, another popular streamer running a Liliana Waker the Dead. And I was like, huh, Liliana sound like a useful card. It discards cards. I don't mind losing a card that I'm not using as removal as fuel for Croxa, because Croxa is obviously my predominant game plan. So Liliana Waker the Dead. This card here, Inscription of Ruin, this is a curious one. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it definitely presents a situation where it could be useful. 79 ordinance. I hope that I'm still here with you. Say something in the chat if y'all still here. Inscription of Ruin says choose one. If this spell was kicked, choose any number instead, and the kicker is 4. 2 and 2 black. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Nice. Return target cards from the graveyard to the battlefield, which is basically your opponent discards a card. Because if I return Croxa, my opponent discards a card. Or destroy target creature with CMC 3 or less. So it functions in all the roles that the deck currently is doing. Because the deck is removing, the deck is playing creatures, and the deck is causing my opponent to discard. So Inscription of Ruin looks like it fills all of the roles. And the last three cards they're running is Shatter Skull, the Hammer Pass, which is Shatter Skull Smashing Flipped. It is deal X damage up to 2 targets, and then if 6 is X or more, deal twice that damage instead. So it is a solid pseudo removal piece. And then I got 2 Hagra Mauling, where it is destroy target creature for 4 mana or is a land. Now, together that's bring me up to 20 lands, but effectively because we play these three blue face lands, I play 23 lands and I feel like I'm cool with that. Now, here is where the question does go to the chat. Are there any cards that I overlook? Is there something that I should be playing instead? Um, is there a reason that I should not be playing one of the cards? You feel like what are the matchups you feel like this would struggle against? I want the feedback, and then we could tweak and tune the deck like in real life. And Becleaves, yo, that actually sound good. That sound actually sound pretty interesting. Now, where would you play Embercleave? Because it's not that I'm not attacking with a lot of creatures at any given time. So when you look at it, my creatures is Croxer, which I don't get early in the game. My Triton, which is okay because it got Death Touch, but it ain't got a strong body. Uh, a Bone Crusher Giant. Bone Crusher Giant with Embercleave on it, hit it for 10 damage. Ain't there to sneeze at. But outside the Bone Crusher Giant and maybe the Phoenix of Ash, do I really have like do I have a volume of bodies that I can cast that I can reduce the cost of Ember Cleave consistently? And I'm not sure that I do. So I feel like Ember Cleave might be a good sideboard card. And I never thought I would say this, but I feel like because the deck is not running as aggressively as Ember Cleave deserves, I feel like it's not the best Ember Cleave deck. What do you think? I'm only running the one Phoenix of Ash, and I'm only running it as a substitute for the fourth Croxer. I could run more Phoenix of Ash, and maybe train the Liliana, but I feel like the Liliana in situations where me and or my opponent graveyard heavy, and I need better removal, Liliana does that, and I think we got. I'm gonna say it just got higher upside because it -6 and -7 says you get an emblem with at the beginning of combat on your turn, put creature from the graveyard onto the battlefield and you control, give it haste. That feels like a very aggro card. But I feel like between Bone Crusher Giant, Rankle, and Croxer, Phoenix Ash doesn't feel very strong. Like as just as a standalone card. Now in connection with Embercleave, yeah, I see where you're going, but like by itself, I'm not sure it's the strongest. Like I wouldn't put in three Phoenix at Ash over another Bone Crusher Giant, but it's something I could consider. I have some Embercleaves lying around, not things that I've seen all the days like. I got extra Embercleave here, and I will definitely put it basically on the sideboard. Um, any other cards? I feel like what you feel about I thinking about cards. And the team obviously is the strongest. What do you feel about Spikefield Hazard? That is the land. Yeah, Ash don't feel like it's strong enough. Ash feel like it cool, but like it, it will struggle like just on a face value comparison as compared to the other cards. I want to feel about Spikefield Hazard. Spikefield Hazard is another one of them multi-dual face cards. On one side it says deals 1 damage to any target. If the permanent would die this turn, exile it instead, and the other side is tap and add a land. Now the tap and add a land don't sound bad. Spikefield feel good, but I was thinking about Uro. Spikefield was best when Uro was around. Was best when they had decks that you don't want exile things in. I don't know that a lot of them decks still exist. I don't feel like one don't feel like you're hitting all of the decks in standard, or a lot of the powerful cards in the decks in standard. True, I can hit Lotus Cobra, I can hit Edgewall Innkeeper. Um, what else I can hit? Maybe Sideboard. You know, I feel like it got a few hits, but I don't know if that's worth justifying. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Exile my opponent. Carrot says sideboard for the mirror. That makes sense because that way I can exile other Croxes. Yeah, correct, correct. Okay, alright, I like this. This is actually shaping up. So let us switch views. I sorry, this is not the most elegant of transitions, but I try a thing. I feel like it's 2020 and I should have better transitions, but bear with me. I will get there, I promise. Alright, so we back here. No, we looking at recycling. No, when we thinking about recycling, I think like I like the other two agonizing remorse. I like the other two agonizing remorse. I like Ember Cleave for shock value. I like a copy of Spikefield Hazard, but then I done. That's four cards. Any recommendations? Or otherwise, my land base is three temples or four temples and three favorable passages. I won't play in the fourth because, but there's also another deck that I won't build tonight. This is a Croxa deck. Um, I didn't want to build Croxa in modern, but I didn't get all the pieces. And I had other things to do, so I said, let me build a standard version. I see a version do well at like the top eight, and it as a close list, like my numbers a little off. Tiamat feeds Croxa. Tiamat my Triton is the only consistent ways I have to put Croxa in the graveyard. Tiamat puts the top three in, and is food for Croxa. So in two turns, Tiamat could get six. It can actually mill over my Croxa and give me that value guarantee that I can hit it. My Triton helps, but Croxa Tiamat goes three deep, whereas my Triton goes two deep. And then the scry on the back of that occasional, but it won't kill me. Right, so I play in a value centric game. And when you look back at the list, you can see where I got three Heartless Apps, three Murderous Riders, four Blood Chiefs Turfs, four Bone Crusher Giants. So I play removal deck. But removal don't win games. So what if I am answering every threat that my opponent could possibly throw out? What can I use to win the game? So I got four copies of Bone Crusher Giant, four copies of Magmatic Channeler, um, and I feel like this is a very good card. It gets up to a 4/4. It discards a card, it feeds the Croxer. I also run in two copies of Instructions of Ruin and two copies of Magras. Marlin? Fair enough, fair enough. What would you suggest I use to augment this Crocs strategy? 'Cause there are cards, there are cards like Terror Peaks, there are cards like that are all very strong and they're in the colors. They don't exactly play super well with it. Nighthawk Scavenger is another one. Yeah, so these two cards here come to mind when I'm thinking about alternatives or backup plans. Nighthawk Scavenger is a 3 mana 1/3 with flying, death touch, and lifelink, and its power is equal to the number of card types amounting in my opponent. Yeah, but I run in. Tarot says Channeler needs a density of instants and sorceries to really power up. I am running 2 Agonizing Remorse, 3 Heartless Acts, 4 Bloodchief versus 9, um, 2 Aggro Mauling, 2 Inscription of Rolling. That's 13. I'm running 13 easily disposable points of removal, which is not quite 20 like you were getting like a Wizard's Tribal. 20 spells and then 20 creatures or less creatures. But it's still a respectable amount to put inside of the graveyard. So the chances are that late in the game, if I don't hit the crop set and I just top decking removal and I spinning my wheels and every card is a removal spell, every card is a removal spell, and I play tick for tap with my opponent, that by the chance, Channel to hit something, hit that density as a backup option. I watched yesterday in the Mythic. I mean, yes, you're right. If my opponent is playing a pure control, draw, go control deck, my removal lives in my hand and I can't do anything with it, right? So maybe I should think about removal that has the option to discard itself, like cycling, but I'm not sure any good cycling removal. Now, that's actually where Hagra Mauling becomes super good because Hagra's Mauling says destroy target creature for 4 mana or add mana. So if this does not function as removal, I can easily put this on the battlefield. Also, it exiles the other card so it doesn't help fill. Let's see. Let me look back at my magic channel. It says as long as there are 4 instants or sorceries, 4 or more instants and or sorcery cards in your graveyard, Magmatic Channel gets +3/+1. Discard a card. Exile the top 2 cards of your library, then choose one of them. Ah, it exiles them, so it doesn't actually put things in the bin. So maybe my estimation of this card might have been too high. Hmm. I was saying, well, Croxa, by virtue of filling the graveyard for Croxa, I could hit the threshold for this easier, and then this in turn helps dig for Croxa. But that's not the case. I mean, maybe it can help find it, as in turning over a card to see the card might be Croxa, then I get to play it. But if it's not, those 2 cards don't add value. I see where you're coming from. The ceiling, the floor is low and the ceiling is okay. Um, all right. What do you guys think about Skyclave Shade? Is a tree one that can block, but is recursive, benefiting from landfall. The other card that I considering is Scourge of the Skyclaves. Um, what are your estimations on these 3 cards? Scourge of the Skyclave is an XX. Power is toughness are 20 minus the highest life total. With Bone Crusher Giant, um, even Murderous Rider, and Agonizer Remorse, I can get me and or my opponent's life points below 20, uh, and help this card exist. Uh, but it feels very situational. I feel like a red and black burn deck is a better home for this, or where I can guarantee whittling down my opponent, maybe in an older format like modern. You like the sky clear shade? Yeah, I like it too. I feel like it do some work. It's a 3/1 body and it repeatable. And when it comes back into the battlefield for 5 mana, it becomes a 5/3, and a 5/3 is a respectable body. You can't scoff at that late in the game, and it doesn't exile cards to come back, so it's not fighting with a spot with Croxer. So it allows me to Croxer comfortably without interrupting that vibe. But if I don't hit one, I can hit a Skyclave. I could put tradies in the sideboard. I could definitely see these occupying a sideboard slot. We want to think about Nighthawk Scavenger. I don't think I'm milling my opponent nearly enough for Nighthawk Scavenger to be like the host that it could be in other decks. In a rogues deck, for sure, that card looked powerful, but not in this deck. In this deck, I feel like I is like a self mill deck. All right, like Field Hazard and Cleave. I got the other two copies that Agonizing Remorse. So this is 7 cards in my sideboard already. You know what card I saw and got glowing reviews, and it was not in this deck, but it's called Shredded Sails. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that. I think it's in this. I could be wrong. Shredded Sails. Scourge of the Skyclave. Wait, which one? Skyclave Shade or Scourge of the Skyclave? There are two of them. One is the demon, and the other one is a shade. One of them is can't block, and the other one power becomes. Yeah, okay, yeah. You mean the ones I mean? I agree with you. Tarek said Skyclave is tricky and standard. It doesn't have a bunch of they don't have a bunch of ways that people pin themselves. Scourge. Hmm. Y'all like Scourge more than Shade? I was liking Shade more because it recursive, whereas Scourge conditional. Okay, let me read this again. Scourge is situational because people don't have a bunch of ways to ping themselves. There's not a lot of self burn. There's not a lot of reducing your life points purposely. No? All right, let me see. Let me see what the chat will say. Chat is saying no. Chat is saying that my evaluation is off. That I should be rating Skyclave. I should be rating Scourge of the Skyclave higher. That's Skyclave shade. Oh. So they're saying that Scourge isn't good in standard because it is not triggerable. It doesn't come in very, very high. In modern, where you have fetch lands, shock lands, you take 5 and 6 damage easily at any given point in the game. Whereas in standard, that's not really a thing. Okay, fair enough. I felt like I was up far, and I glad we on the same page. All right, good. Now we got some cards to go through. I'm liking the third copy of Hagra Mauling. in the sideboard just because um, having a removal spell that doesn't target like the Blood Chasers versus having the extra land, I would have the if I whiff if I miss my target, I can hit a land if my opponent is creature like. So I like having this card here maybe as the 24th land or something to that effect. Because total I'm only running 23 lands in the main deck. So having this as a multimodal card. Now, what are your guys' thoughts on Tyrant? What's the other one? Tyrant, mm, the 5 mana dragon. I am looking for it. The current version, I run some arena games. Alright, you know what? Let me do that. Let me do that here live on stream. And I can keep the chat up. Um, we can pull this up. We can make sure. Actually, I don't know if I could do that. At least I don't know if I could continue to watch the chat. That's my only challenge. But you know what? If I do that, I could disconnect one of the monitors or one of the cameras and use it as my recording device. Let me do that. Let me jump on some arena and play some games with this list that we help sculpt in paper. I'm super comfortable with that. Let me add a game capture. All right, let me reduce this. Bear me 1 second. We can stop this one here. All right, let's run this. Let's see how it goes. Let's run some arena. Alright, so I am watching Arena. Alright, let me build this deck on Arena and see how it goes. Again, big shout out to the anime spot Barbados. Uh, I always shout them away all of my videos. Confounding Conundrum. Hmm. This is a new mill deck. Let me see. Confounding Conundrum. Is that a rare? A blue card. Confounding Conundrum. Yes, I found it. Confounding Conundrum. When Confounding Conundrum enters the battlefield, draw a card. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under opponent's control, if that player had another land enter the battlefield under their control this turn, they return a land they control to its owner's hand. You see, the problem with that card, right, is that the um okay, here's a list that I was theory crafting in my head. This is not a perfect list by any stretch of the imagination. Um, and frankly, I don't think I had all the world cards. But for the stream, I'm willing to go hard. I want to test magmatic channelers, so I'm willing to take it up to 3. Back to your question, Anthony. Confounding Conundrum is a challenging magic card to get right. The reason I say so is because it bounces the land, but it doesn't stop your opponent from getting the benefit in a landfall deck. Now, this is why I was asking you, back to Croxa. What are your guys' thoughts on playing a big card like Terror of the Peaks? Right? I only had one Shatter Skull Smashing, so I ran 2 copies at the Deem's Awakening. Right? I don't know that that's a great call. But you get what he's saying about confirming Conundrum, Anthony? It stops your opponent from accelerating too much, but with cards like Lotus Cobra that benefits your opponent from getting the mana, there's actually nothing stopping them from tapping the land that comes into play. That tapping the land that comes into play before it gets bumped to their hand. So there's literally no disadvantage really to the opponent from this card. So this card is basically draw cards, sit on the board, and check your opponent from accelerating too fast, but not too fast. I was offering an evaluation of Confounding Conundrum, card Anthony is thinking about running in his mill deck. Welcome back, Terry. So I feel like my thoughts on the card, it acts as a wall, acts as a dam, but it doesn't stop the water from piling up. So this is the deck here. I started to try to build a version online while I was in my head. Uh, I haven't got all the cards. I haven't got all the pieces. I'm trying out cards like Valakut's Awakening, uh, Hagramon, and I keep them. I trying out cards like Terror of the Peaks. I want to say that I did not have space for the Phoenix of Ash, but I wanted to try another copy of magmatic channeler. And I don't know, I think I'm willing to trim Valakut's Awakening because it doesn't help the crops, because it only puts it in the puts them on the bottom. So I can trim that and I can craft a magmatic channeler. So this 60 look good, look respectable. Scourge of the Sky Claves should I want any more of them. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Tarek said it doesn't do the really do the job. I would like to run it against Rogues and then maybe Omnath. Because Omnath is fading from popularity despite the numbers. Because Rogues praying on it. So I want to see if I can beat Rogues and then I can see how it does against the big scary dog. That how it does against Omnath. So Rogues and then Omnath if you have it. So I will wait for you. Tarek is also a streamer, so feel free to check him out on Twitch. His Twitch handle is IvanBoy246, if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken, and he can put it in the chat, and I will see. I will definitely post it at a later point. So I can wait against. I can wait on Tarek to come online because we usually play some games uh, when I on Arena. My vault progress is claiming at 129%. Um, I keep mistaking. Yeah, but Tarek B75. Tarek B75. Tarek actually gave me the motivation to start this thing. And I have to say thank you for that because it took on a life of its own. And I feel like it coming along. And a big shout out to Anthony too. Anthony has literally been my audience of one or audience of two because when Tigris always comes on and watches his stream. But I take great comfort and encouragement from knowing that there are people who are interested in the content I'm creating and who are willing to support. So big thank you for all of the guys that pass through and watch and support the stream. I also have a tournament on Sundays called Magic Sunday Series. I took a week off this week to address some shipping issues that I am experiencing and maybe sit down, reevaluate how I'm doing and the price support I'm offering and the price support I can offer for persons outside of the US. But those are things I would like to go into on another video perhaps or even offline. Um, because apart from my home country, Barbados, who I'm big on supporting, I've been getting persons from all over the region, all over the world, in fact, from as far as New Zealand and Australia to as next door to Canada. However, shipping outside of the US presents some unique challenges when prices are no longer individual card rewards. Those can be shipped easily and without challenge. But when we're thinking about shipping packaged products, you incur more significant duties. And so I have to find a way that's feasible to get around that. And I think maybe it's time to consider paid entry and creating the facilities for it. The interest is certainly there. So if you want to come through to an event soon, please do, and I will be happy to facilitate. Ah, so you're gonna be tied up. All right. So what you can do is in the interest, I can jump into a quick and ranked queue. Uh, and and give this one a run. So as soon as you get here, shout me and I could either finish the match quickly or drop from it, and I would definitely test against you. But Anthony, big at yourself. Thanks for standing through this first match. This win, we counting on you. I want to hear from you in the chat. So I can be taking plays and play suggestions from the chat, as well as other cards. I would say where compounding conundrum is concerned, it is a mediocre card that doesn't do the job that card was designed to do because there's too many ways to take advantage of it. I would recommend a card like Teferi Master of Time, because Teferi Master of Time in tandem with Teferi's Glass, not Hourglass, Teferi's, help me, the card that is milled, the milled cards. But bigger itself. The card that's milled, I can't remember its name. That starts with Teferi, as the whole reason mill is a thing. That card, Teferi Master Time, are better options, not necessarily to stop your opponent, but definitely to accelerate the rate of milling. Cards like Neutralize is good to draw cards when you got that in play. And consider cards like Shark Typhoon, um, which add value to you when you are milling, when you're playing control. Another card to consider is Tassa's Intervention. Well, it doesn't draw, it definitely like looks for cards. So just to highlight these cards. Sorry. Tassa's Intervention, Shark Typhoon, Neutralize, Unlimited Sea, Tassa Deep Dwelling, and Fury Master Time. So them is cards that I could highly recommend. Let me test out the magmatic channeler. I know the right player would to be played in by a Triton, but I think my opponent is going to present a good target. I'm willing to take 3 life here. Teferi's tutelage, correct. I'm willing to take 3 life here to get rid of whatever my opponent puts on the battlefield, such that. Ooh, oh, it's interesting. My opponent had the ability to play Omnath, but it shows me that they did not have Omnath in hand. This is just a regular teamer deck. Alright, they killed the Magmatic Channeler. I didn't get the third land, so Shatter Skull Smashing has to enter the battlefield untapped. It feels bad, but I feel like getting rid of this Lotus Cobra. Yeah, Teferi's Tutelage is a solid card. Getting rid of the Lotus Cobra was definitely worth it in terms of building back that advantage. Now, this is where, if Tarot is here, this is where Tiamat Calls the Dead proves it worth. In Mills 3 cards, I get back something, but if I get the Croxa is already in the graveyard. So let me view Battlefield. I only have 4 cards here, but when I cast Maya Triton, I will have the 5th card. So I will opt out of um, putting a card there, and instead, I will turn the Hagra's Maulin into a land. So no next turn I have a cross. My Croxa versus um my opponent's Terror the Peaks. I don't think I came out on the uh, on the uh on the winning side of that fight. Opt that into the story. I like those cards. My wife can tell you Opt is one of my favorite Magic cards. Period. But Into the Story is a very good card at refilling you hand. And once you can reduce the cost for it, I think it's like when your opponent got 8 cards or something like that. You can reduce it by 3. So no, I don't look like I could take down the dreadful Omnath quite yet. I think my mistake was letting the Lotus Cobra untap, or my inability to answer the Lotus Cobra turn 2 cost me that game there. Let me jump back in it and try it again. Yeah, yeah. Tarek said it does mill, but his point is that it's not really the greatest payoff overall. And definitely I could see that. That's absolutely true. So when I went for Croxa the following turn, and my opponent Genesis ultimatum into like 27 threats and ended my game in one hit. Croxa doesn't feel so great. All right, let us go. I'd like to do a best of three. Best of three or best of one? I'm thinking best of three, but I don't think I have the optimal sideboards. So maybe best of one extradition matches. Let me know what you think. I'm more comfortable with best of one. Maybe one best of one and then maybe a best of three. You need the big Teferi. I actually hate this card. I'm not a fan of Teferi Master of Time at all. I think the card is rubbish. Maybe because I don't play mill. Maybe because when I need the card that I'm drawing off for it, and I have to discard a card that I don't have when I'm behind, it does not catch me up. It filter, it loops, and has a good filter, but that's a trick. Um, just because it like in these situations where I need it to draw me the card I need, and I go give away a card that I that I would rather keep is not good. If I have 0 cards in hand, I can't use its loot ability. So I feel like I'm struggling against the tide where the card is concerned. Yes, it can take something out of play in my opponent's turn, but unless I can get it back to 4, it also can't do it twice. So by the time my opponent's turn comes back around, I've delayed them. But if I can't do anything with that turn I've earned, it's not very good. So this is where I feel like Hagra Mauling serves as such a good card here. Because Hagra, if I didn't have a land turn one, Hagra became my turn one land. Going first is obviously better because on the draw, that turn one would stop me from being able to being able to answer Lotus Cobra. But my opponent is playing rogues, I think. So this may be an opportunity for me to get away with a little murder here. I can play my game straightforward. See, my opponent rogues is usually mill, so I think rogues will fuel the Croxa, and my hope is that rogues can give me enough steam to continually hit Croxa. Mm. My opponent is a little behind, so I feel like I won't really apply the pressure and punish my opponent for like having that top land turn two. And this is where cards like Blood Chiefers excel the most, I would say. So right now, there's pure pressure. I want hit already peaked, so putting this as a land to hit my fifth land drop is more important to me than holding it up to remove something from my opponent. And again, Bone Crusher Giant represents a 4-turn clock. There's hardly a situation where Bone Crusher Giant won't do the job that it was designed to do. So I see my opponent flashing in something, and that's okay. Because I still get to deal the damage. Perfect. Bone Crusher has effectively dealt the damage that he was meant to. And if they allow this Maya trait in, they're at 8. And I feel like I am net positive in that interaction. I would love to hit a crops, I have 5 cards to discard the Cropsa, so I'm willing to get rid of a Retirement, Cause the Dead to create a zombie and keep the pressure up. I would like to see another Spikefield Cave, uh, or a situation like this when I got extra mana open that I can hit my opponent with if they cast a creature at the end of the turn. The decision there to Heartless Act the token instead of my trading was solely to keep me off of Croxer. And I don't think it's a bad call. I think it was actually a pretty good play. And now my opponent here is thinking that functionally this could be a very important turn if they commit to you see, if I had the mana I can not only have Chaos Croxer but escape it too. Listen, as you get this computer up and running, I here for it. I here for it. I also cool with doing spell table on stream. I here for Magic. I believe Magic should be played and enjoyed by people who want to play. So I'm willing to make that happen. So just say the word once you get any kind of technology up and running. Whoa, sorry. I here to support all forms of Magic play. I would love my opponent to drown this Maya Triton. I will whack them to death with the two of these if they give me the opportunity. They do not. So moving to main phase 2, this is where Boxer ensures that his advantage is maintained. Yeah, I could do a spell table. Um, let me make say happen. I should not have kept that on top. That was a bad keep on my part. My opponent got the answer what in front of them and are at these blows. That was a real bad keep on my part, man. A real offset for that. I think at the point where that could have cost me the game. That one. Um, tonight even. Let me see how how possible it is to set up spell table for me right now. Just that I got limited space. I got the overheads and everything. I probably will play this deck, but definitely let me play two or so games on Arena, and then I down to play a game because Paper Magic is life. Also, the grand finals. Oh, see, that's your card there. That's your card there, Anthony. Into the story. Oh, that just reset the game, and I have a dead draw here. I have an absolute dead draw. Ah, card that bad. The card is that bad. But Magmatic Challenger, yeah, you did. Ooh, almost get rid of my other crop too. That would be bad. I saw that coming. But the Terror Peaks here, and again, this is why the milling strategies are useful because I could do this again. I could do this all day while I beat face and put my opponent here on the ropes because they have to wait to stop the Croxer and or discard a card and or die um, while taking three a turn. That's a clock. That represents a clock in the most concrete of ways. Okay. They like their home. Interesting. And again, taking the card as the token, taking the card as the token always keeps me off of fueling my graveyard for future plays. I think I think here it is worth trying to force Terra at the peaks, but I feel like I will wait a turn. The other part of the equation too is that if my opponent uses the mana on a card that already in my graveyard, I absolutely comfortable with that. If they discard a card that's lethal, if they discard a card, I know they got something to stop me. If they discard a land, I would suspect that they had something to put up a wall, but they don't. So they're willing to attack. Yeah. Hey, welcome back, Wind Tigers. I am playing Tarek in a best of three. Croxer against the Demir Rogues. And while I definitely see my opponent is restocking their hand at regular intervals, I definitely have a undeniable advantage with procs that are playing that level of pressure, but I I can tell you that that advantage is dubious or movable. My opponent is actually hedging all of their bets on this soaring top thief, and I'm not sure that I agree with that play at all. My opponent has one mana up, and when I remove this soaring top thief, that's the end of the call for Solomon Grundy. You got control. You got control. I feel like discarding something would. Right. My Magic Channel do okay there. It got me the land I was looking for. It stayed on the board. It could have played a more better role, yes. Yeah, it. Let me see if it consistent. I like consistency over calculated fear. You know, scavenger. Let me run it back like this. I opted for more hit. I opted for going in the grave a little more. Going in the grave a little more. Relying on the graveyard a little more than maybe I should, especially game two. After I review my strategy for my opponent. I feel like I'm at the best I were cause I could see what I saw from my opponent. Not control. And I should expect the Lochmere Serpent. I should expect the Lochmere Serpent game two to strip my graveyard a lot more. And not necessarily as a big layout play, stripping my graveyard to stopping me from wailing up. That's probably what I would have done if I was in their position. Oh, uh, see, keeping one of these in your back pocket never hurt. But we can huh, my opponent took a mulligan? Yeah, I gotta help my opponent out. I think Serpent is a good card. I don't think Serpent is bad at all. Yes, yes. Mill me into. Oh no, you milled my 2 mil card. That was actually a good hit. You say I can have Crocs this turn? Sure, I'll take Crocs this turn. I think in these situations, um, I'm gonna have a number of super beneficial cards against this archetype. Yes. I mean, it's cards that I want still because I need that other red. The fates are not kind. The fates are not kind. Let me keep this on top because it will get more. Let's see. This is the amount of advantageous. I think you don't want functional spells. Put more fuel in the graveyard. 7. I would like 3 more cards so you can cross it twice. Hey, hey. Well, thanks. Thanks. When your opponent obliges you, is be grateful. Again, the ability to pivot from theme deck to just beatdowns is one of the most valuable aspects of cards like Bone versus Deck. And frankly, cards like Rose serve the same role. When you think about how Rose played in, you're gonna tell me that you're wrong for this. Well, I'm probably right. It's Phoenix Ash. This should not be a good play. Absolutely. What this represents, though, is if those two have resolved, that would have represented 8 points of damage per turn. That damage that my opponent could not engage with without losing resources. And I wanna. Oh, this into the story. This is such an irritating card. My opponent just plays the card and restocks their hand. But I think here that thankfully I got my opponent on the ropes. With one more land, I can escape Croxer and play. That was not bad. You know what? This is for me. This is the value of a card like Phoenix. That's what it's called a clock. Oh, yeah, yeah. Fair enough. So I guess I don't think I had as bad a time with Rogues as I thought. But Rogues is what beats Omnath. Um, and Omnath is the big pig in standard, even though it's showing up a lot less. Fair enough, fair enough. Rogues definitely has an unfavorable matchup against this thing. When it chooses not to attack. I shall not let that stand. This is where this interaction, like this get over, like the amount of interaction is quite so that got everything just pivot into either removal, mill, or a body. Oh, well played. My opponent survives with 1 point of damage. Oh, but again, as I was honestly afraid of the blue black deck because the blue black deck had access to counter magic and as much black removal as it cared to run, in addition to all these stuff. Good games. The real test, I guess, is how it does against the big bad, which is Omnath. And again, this deck did not really get a chance to hit off, but it had two pieces of removal, two counter spells. Was it? Yeah, Into the Story and two rogues. So it didn't get the most impressive showing that the deck could do, simply because Tarek said the deck fuels Crocs. Huh? So there's that. Every time the deck does what it's supposed to do, Crocs smells and says, ah, come. So I hadn't considered that. I was considering the interaction. So maybe we could go at it again from the point of view of the big bad. That's the truth. And the big bad for me is on huh, the sorry, I don't know what to beat Spike here. Um, hmm, I don't know. Sorry. Alright, there we go again. The games might not have been the best representations because the second game for sure the deck did not show all it could have in terms of the email deck did not show all it could have shown. I'm wondering what cards are missing from the sideboard that can make the deck or take the deck to the next level. a handful of lands. I think I can go black. Let's see here. Let me go through that. Let's Let me see if the deck will represent it. I'll go back to this. The two Academy's Awakenings. You're no Kumana Exile effects in blue black, right? That one I definitely have. Shark Erosion Isle. That is a 4 mana blue card. Sharks. I actually like the body on this card. If nothing else, just the body. I like the body. Ah, so my opponent discard a line and take the damage. So Charex is a good body. It is a 0/17 that can get quite swole without sacrificing its toughness. Because very early in the game it can be 4/7, as you wish. It can get up there and do some damage. Yeah, when it does decide to swing, decent body. My opponent is giving me nothing to target, but it's obviously playing with counter magic held up. I would like to see if I can force them to play on here. The ability to take out this Bone Crusher Giant is not something that should be easily ignored. Mm. Taking the opportunity to sneak in some threats underneath. Not bad, not bad at all. Hmm, I can live with that. Huh. What mill cards you have are that is in the form of because you said Tassa isn't fitting the deck's theme. What mill cards do you have that are in the form that play in the form of help me that play in the form of creatures that like Wall of Lost Thoughts. That's what I'm thinking of. I know that rotated, but cards in that vein that enter the battlefield. I know you have Crab, but Crab doesn't do it by itself. Crab is triggered by landfall. So bringing back Crab at the end of the turn doesn't exactly do what you're looking for. Move that Soaring Tart piece for only man. Nah. So then Tassa ain't a fit. Tassa think more as a blink strategy. If your opponent could, if you got things that could blink into the battlefield and trigger time and time again, then Tassa's perfect. Otherwise, let it go. So what about start telephone, drawing cards, start telephone, neutralize, and omen of the sea to trigger you card draw, to trigger you card draw strategies. Sure. Because I figured that you let the rankle go by because you had something to interact with the proxy. So, ooh, cling to this. Nice, nice, nice card from the side. Woman, woman is decent. Cling works as an inverse form of proxy. Inverse rule. Really like cling to this. Omen of the Sea is a pretty solid card. Omen of the Sea gets there. Finally, we can see this card go off. One, two, three, four. Finally, we could see magnetic channel go off at the 4-4. That's what we're talking about beats. Face is the place. I find that these multi-dual face cards, these land ones, paying the tree life, feels real painful. Oof, Heartless Act hurt me. Let us see if my opponent can do something else. 4 mana, draw a card from claim to this. Yeah, cling to this. Pretty solid. Um, this is a solid piece of 1 mana engagement. I can put one of them in my sideboard for sure. So you tap out Tasser, you put in Chariots. You know the way ahead is cool. For Magnetic Challenger, it was okay. I think maybe Scourge the Strike Waves. I should put in these things. Into the Royal. Remind me what Into the Royal does. Is that a 2 mana bounce draw card? Into the Royal. So you see this card being able to gain life for 5 card. This is a dangerous card here. This Cling to Dust. I don't know. This is pushing in some serious work. Mr. Minister. If Tasha said non-permanent. Mm. Yeah, if Tasha said non-permanent, it will be busted. Um, please let me hit something. Is it? Is it? Oh, yes. Don't let my opponent be able to carry this card. This Cling to Dust out here stopping so much. This card, jeez. Turret, come back here. Will you then escape the Cling to Dust? Are you seeing wrong? Yes, you could have escaped the Cling to Dust. You had the mana up, and you would have gone back to Trailer, unless you're saying that there were no creature cards. Nah. Well, maybe you were saying that it was prolongingly inevitable. uh, I just meant, yeah, it felt like prolongingly inevitable. That's understandable. Mr. Minister. Fair enough. I definitely turned the deck into a more aggressive shell because it seems like the Croxa was cute, but it was the beatdowns that really, and the excellent removal that Blackers gave you access to that really saved the day for me there. Plus some bad draws from my opponent. Hard luck day. Yeah, Black's removal suite is there to stop it from removal lands to one mana removal spells with skill. The one mana spells is get rid of planeswalkers for 4 mana. Just Black has it all right now. And I feel like Omnath is probably the only reason not to play Black. Ooh, I feel like I'm gonna have to get the office share in future. I like the smaller chair because it gives me the ability to pivot. But I guess if I push back some of the furniture in the room, I could use the office chair maybe for a little more height, the ability to turn and stuff. Something is happening here on the arena screen. It's a decent. How spike feel if my opponent gets full ultra hunter? Sorry. Mr. Minister. Forge suits me better if things get red. Very clear shade. Maybe Zero really came out here. This again is it. That might show a little better showing now. And again, just a strong, consistent aggro face, man. And not whoa. The cling to dust. I tell you, cling to dust does the Lord's work. It's such a good magic card. In blue, I don't think besides thinking to fairy. Sorry to all the Teferi lovers over there. Not sorry. Um, you lost all the players walkers, I think. So maybe flip Jace is good for scrying and drawing. Sorry, twin Jace. Let me show you twin Jace. Mirror Jace is a solid card. Mirror Jace says a lot of things. Kicker, kicker two. When Jace enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, you can token copy of Jace Mirror Mage. It's not legendary. And its starting loyalty is one. Its plus one says scry two, and its plus zero says draw a card and reveal it. Remove a number of loyalty counters equal to that converting mana cost from Jace. How you would play um, Jace is you would use both of them. Sorry, taking so long. You will use both Jaces. You will use the smaller one, the one that's a token copy. You would scry to. You will figure out which card suit you best. This card is too good. 4 mana, draw 4. Obscene. Talk about bad beats. Things just showing real holes in me. The best I could hope for is drawing a land. Right. So you scribe it that bad. That bad. Yeah, you scribe with the 1 mana, the 1 loyalty Jace, and then you use the other Jace to draw the card once it's under 4. 3 mana or less. Because obviously you could draw something that bigger than the Jace, but the minus will kill the Jace. And as you keep plusing, you can use them interchangeably for cards like Alt. So you can chain off a lot of it um, in a few turns, definitely. But it's definitely a card that has seen play. It can see play depending on the circumstances. Is what I'm trying to say. Um, this is a situation. Yes, there's better cards. It cute, but it ain't all that. I think I find the mythic you was looking for, Seagate Restoration. It had a fucking. Oh, my opponent just pushing some licks on me, just keeping me in a attrition matchup. That is such a top play. That is such a top play. Um, remove my card and then Heartless active if I don't engage at anything in my main phase too. That's a good play. Yeah, they're better cards sorry, for 3 mana as well as 6 mana. Hmm, let me see. Maddening Cacophony is another one that's super solid. You already got that, you that. I ain't sure yet. I probably can hold on to it because it's the only one I have, and I usually have a rule about mythics, about rares. The 5+ rule that everything after 5 is gravy. But that's probably not one that I can be willing to let off if I pull one in a couple packs or something. Maybe, But sorry, I go here, pull sharking. Now that you can play, I got to play. Slightly pressure. Just hit me now. Let me get this Scourge of Sky Clip on the battlefield. Wait, you got four of the Madden Cacophonies? You got four of the Mythic I confused. You say you got four of the Mythic multi MFDC cards. Multi dual face MDFC cards. Multi dual face cards. For the MDFC Blue Mythic lad. Wizards make you card acronym simpler. Dual face lads. DFCs. Modal. It stands for Modal Dual Face Lands. Oh, Cacophony. Yeah. I sending you a Cacophony as well. From you winnings from stream. So there's more card rewards to come. Maybe you could trade that or put it in an EDH deck and be like me. And I hate to break a standard deck. I hate to break a deck apart to take a card to build into something else. Uh, but card availability I hear is super reasonable. So yeah, it's much easier to do that and build all these multiple decks when people don't care about the pennies that matter so much to me. When I talking about economics and availability of Magic cards is still something that I real passionate about. Is that I remember not being able to buy basic good removal because it costs too much money. When I say too much money, I meant like I was not spending $13 Barbados for a card that I need four of. That is not like a mythic rare or anything like that, right? That's all. That's one side of it. The other side of it is that same card that was $13 is basically 650 US. I find that in America in the bulk rare section for $1. You wouldn't understand that in the bulk rare section for $1, the card that would have cost me $13 a pop or equivalent. Shoot! I auto pass. I saw all set. Oh, right, but that $13 card would have been in the dollar rare section, and that would have cost me 65 Barbados for a playset. Oh, I'm so mad. I saw all set. Jesus. Achavi. Well caught. Well caught. You deserve that. You deserve to get my crocs. And I get no use out of it. But yeah, $65 for a card that costs 4 US. Even if you convert that into Barbados, generously $10 as opposed to $65. That's the kind of economics of cards that I am seeing that that we community does not have the access to because they aren't opened in that volume. People just open hundreds of boxes daily, and if we had had a fraction of that capacity or that volume down here, a lot of price gouging would stop. A lot of the value of a staple like Murderous Rider should never be the equivalent to somebody's deck. You always feel that way. Hey, opponent over here. Hey, opponent over here put in real work. Derek. You're good. You're good. Yeah, it hard. So, especially because I can afford to buy these cards now, and and whatever deals or whatever you will be able to get is important to me to remember the eager youngster who they waited for years to play Magic the Gathering. Finally had a little job, I think I could afford to play, but was priced over it the first 3 months. And I scanned the commons box and I get help from people like Tarek and I get help from people like Sean who literally bring a bag of cards for me. I put no, I said Bill's hand for me. And and together build up my collection to be something worth even. Yeah, yeah, you want to put that for straight in front of my face? I feel that you can get rid. Los, los. And I got the money to pay for it. Do saying. Shoot, I ain't got the money to pay for it. Will you come for it? Ah, uh, yeah. So for me, like I always reminded of my humble days, cause to be humble is to be exalted, and I ain't going too far. I just crossed the waters, but still a virgin. So that's why like these community outreach efforts where Magic is concerned, making sure they got a space to play Magic, even if it's online, even if it ain't like the best format. But the best part of Magic is the gathering. And if I can't do the gathering, I can do the joining. Something to make Magic continue to happen. For me too, as much as it is for other people. Because I enjoy the game to that degree that I feel like the game is such a worthwhile investment time, the energy, and focus is the love and the passion. So, well, Tarek might be here cutting my ass. I thoroughly enjoy myself. And it may not seem so to the casual onlooker, but that's like clear shade about to stabilize and put some holes in my belly, besides of which I'm not sure I can recover from. But on the flip side, if he hit me once, I good. Because that means that I can finally play this Scourge of the Sky Clear. If he hit me twice, I great. Does this have travel? No. There's a goal. I gotta kick this card 2 4 6. No, I can't kick it yet. One more mana. You got here for me. If I could kick this card. Scourge of the Sky Clear. Kick a 5 mana. When you cast a spell, if it was kicked, each player loses half their life rounded up. And my power is toughness equals to 20 minus the highest life point of a non-player. What? What kind of sickery? What? Judge. Lord. Teaching people cards. You know mass manipulation hold a ban? Actually, I'm not sure if that's true. Did mass manipulation ever get banned? That's a good question. I want my cards. Hit resolve. Enjoy it. Well, right. Kicking jizz. Ah, don't. Uh, when you cast this spell, oh Lord, Scourge is such a powerful card. When you cast this spell, not when it resolves, when you cast it. Alright, I play this card. I play this card is a 7 mana equalizer. Because it's the only way to play this card. I might draw all the cards you want. Just don't draw no removal. Because a ball crusher giant and a cross the finish line, you know. Gee. This is why we used to play magic, you know. We used to play magic for moments like this where you're holding up with the skin of your teeth and the game could change in a heartbeat. Because 7, if my opponent finds 2 more points of damage. What? 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 Ah! Oh no! Oh no! Whoa! Whoa! Good game. Good game. You deserve. Whoa! Look at that. What's this card? Low Mage's Domination. This spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a creature whose controller has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. Gain control of target creature with CMC X. Oh, oh, wow. Well played, well played. Yo, the amount of blows. GG's, yeah. GG's. My odds that Eclipse betray me to the cause. Ooh, that was brutal. Lamage's Domination. I'll remember that card. I need I need some of these. I need to like back in my old. That was tremendous. Yeah, I like that. The blows is strong. Sorry, I'm stretched right in the north. I not open. I, yes, I you will get. I mean, keep your language PG, please, so you get monetized one of these days. I jest, but yeah. So get Sarto with the Sarto, and you gonna be Sarto. Look here, I see that was going on, and the odds, and the body you're looking. What is tree in your belly? Ooh, that's what I mean. Maki. Maki. Oh, I opponent killed me talking. Why you so? Why you so? Making your island. Payment for the ring. Don't eat island. Huh? I resolve to what? Again, Mackie. Uh, listen, we got this, you know. These blows gonna be real. We gonna be opening a lot of times because because it's Sunday. They open 40s. Oh, I thoroughly enjoy this. Wait, how you get rid of my crop, sir? What you do? What I do? Alright, let's I see how it is. Yo, remove all of them now. Remove all of them. I know that blue ain't got no enchantment removal like that. Black is definitely the struggle with it. You are correct. Come on. This is the last one, the battle of the ages. Three cards in hand. Will you work to prevent the crops of resurrection and take some blows from this white this card. This card. So frustrated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. We know. We know. Now give me signing cards. 1, 2, 3. Croxer back in your skin. Back down your skin with the Croxer. We gaining there. Alright, I would like another land so I could keep up more pressure and murderous rate. Magic the Gathering, the game designed to cut your blood pressure. I can't wait. Come man. Use up this removal, man. I didn't really need for you to use it. It was a taunt that was meant to roll you up, but not really to listen. We ain't gonna be like that. If we get another line, I can show you. I can show you. I can show you. Having them all. You know you can't use it. It's sticking me up. Once I represent 6 damage next turn, a 3 turn clock. If my opponent don't get removal, it on. Again. Oh, this card! Alright, so 5 mana, two attackers. Yeah. I mean, my opponent got enough land that they could remove both of my tracks. But I don't feel so. I feel like I sneaked this one through. Amber Cleave. Actually, you call it, you say Amber Cleave in the sideboard. Good man. Good man. I appreciate that call. Because I didn't believe in the Cleave, I can admit it freely. Yeah, I did a pre-release. Did you kill yourself? Harry Carey? Alright, way to go. Or you just give up. Victory. I can end this on here unless Anthony want to jump in. I got 4 packs here to crack. I could crack these. Anthony, if you want to play, I don't know what name. I willing. I know eager, but I willing. Um, yeah, I did a pre-release with Labyrinth Games and Puzzles on Tuesday, about 2 Tuesdays ago, and it was pretty decent. I went 3-2. Um, I had a pretty decent deck. I drew, I think, a Terror of the Peaks was in my pack. I stand to victory. I definitely opened it. No, Felidar Retreat was my pre-release card. Tarek, thanks for the games again, Tarek. Tarek's Bobby. I sorry. Tarek's streamer name is Tarek B75. So check him out on Twitch. He streams. Big shout out to you, Tarek, for the guidance, the gameplay, and let me make some things happen. Give thanks. I come off of arena. I want to see if I could make this spell table thing happen. Um, but yeah, actually, I can do that to the people who can pass through and watch it. Deck tech, deck tech. A brief little something. Thoughts and reviews on how the cards make. Lustrous, very solid. Don't need 4 of them. Have 4 of them so you can see it. Trim some of them in the sideboard. Spikefield Hazard is situationally very, very good, but also situationally very, very bad as a top plan. Um, Heartless Atman Maya Triton. He doesn't stream anymore, but we can get he back out to the back out into this field. Heartless Atman Maya Triton are definitely solid cards. I found myself trimming a couple of Maya Tritons um, in situations where they weren't solid. Actually, yeah, buddy. A boy and a consi. A boy and a consi. Listen, tell them there are wins. There are wins. Your wings of prey and collect your pops with aplomb. Maya Triton served a good purpose. He was had death touch, so he stopped a lot on the ground. I'm not sure how effective he would be against flying threats. So I find myself trimming her down to like 2 or 3 copies. Magmatic Channeler, meh. That's my final thoughts on the card. I, I, I. That's all I can say about it. I ain't in love with it. I see what it does, but I can find better slots for this. namely Skyclave Shade. That outperformed itself in the early game, the mid game, and the late game when it comes back and it gets bigger. Hermit Calls the Dead. I will always play this when I play a Croxer. It is just like playing Cavalier of Thorns in a Uro deck with Nissa. It just makes sense. One Crusher Giant, solid card. Hagar Marlin, also very solid. I don't mind tapping this, entering this tap for a land because of how good it is as a spell. Liliana, situationally good. It has good synergy, but I feel like it is always like okay, just okay. Definitely for the sideboard, two copies of Cling to Dust. I don't know why I overlooked that card. That card was house and land. House and land. Tarek showed me the way, the truth, and the light with that card. I so impressed. Terror the Peaks, I never played it. Every time I saw it, I felt like I didn't want to play it because it was big, bulky, drew removal, and didn't do enough to impact the board. I'm not ramping hard enough for this card to be of additional value. So I feel like, meh. Shadow Skull Smasher never used it. Adigan's Awakening could have used it, only want one. And then my land composition. I'm fairly happy with that. So overall, a decent deck. It may not win all the games. Rogues or Blue Black Mill or Blue Black Control may not be the best matchup against it. And just because it felt like it benefited from what Blue Black Control was doing. Yeah. Cling to Dust, MVP, House Car, and Land. Spikefield Hazard, decent situation. Agilizer Remorse when the useful. Skyclear Scourge, too glitchy, too gimmicky. Skyclear Shade deserves to be in the main board. Actually, I'm gonna put them in the main board right now, and I'm gonna take out these magnetic channelers. I'm not even sure I want to put these magnetic channelers in the sideboard. This card is a trap. Yeah, I can keep two here for the time being, but eager to replace them. Phoenix, Asha, and Buckley. Alright. I know what else you could say there. Phoenix, Asha, and Buckley just make sense. And there you have it, guys. Croxer. Alright. I done with Arena. I's a paper magic man. Let me see if we can make some paper magic happen. But before we do that, let me crack at least a couple packs here. One card. I only crack it for one card. Call you card. If it ain't here, it is yours. We playing that turbo wrong. Replace. Anthony says replace. But I didn't hear what else he said. All right, let me get to it. Full art pathway. All right, sweet. Gamers code. Call something. Seagate. All right, a Seagate and a full art pathway. I'm not sure if y'all like that this do model content where we build a card in paper and then we go on arena to test it. But I found that it was very enjoyable. Red Wine. Not sure what's starting from the wrong way. But what you could do about it? Wayward Guide Beast, some Marauder, Root Grapes, Molasses Spotman, and just bad players. Alright, a Guide Beast, a Wayward Guide Beast. Flame also. Listen, guys, they're struggling today. Planes for art card, planes, drawings, Clipfield. This is the set booster. Utility knife, adventures of it, relic element, amulet, acquisitions expert, 6 cards. Land card, Master Sky Dancer, Killing Trap, Nighthawk, Territorial Safecap, and a card from the list the Flame Kill. Not bad. Another list card is always welcome. I want to see if we could collect them all. But Nighthawk Scavenger is decent, but nothing outrageous. The Nighthawk Scavenger is not bad. It's not a bad card at all. Let me get it right. This is Grove of the Burn Willows by Donato Giancola. Foil item. We go with 6 cards. Seagate Colossus, Marasa Broke, Synchronized Spellcraft, Sizzling Barrage, Fastwood Surge, Marasa Sprout. Land card is Rolling Crab, a Rolling Regrowth, Veteran Adventurer, Zarish the Trickster, Foil is Expedition Champion, and a land card. So not great hits. Rolling Crab and Zarish are decent. Rolling Regrowth is high. But again, nothing to write home about. Last one. Treatment Ambusher, Shepherd the Heroes, Clever to Chill Depths, Steal the Heights, Scavenge Blade, Foresight Adept, Zando Stomper, Highborn Vampire, Ardent Necromancer, that's lame. Nemantis Seer. So that's my 10 comments. Okay, these 3 uncommons or 2 uncommons, a rare, a foil, and a land. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there we go. Attainment Eater, Vine Gecko, Demon Disciple, boom, Turn Symbiosis. That's a good looking mythic. I feel that these 4 packs did pretty well. Packs alive, a token card. So that brings me to the end of it. No full art pathways, no Seagate um, thingies, unfortunately. But it was a good pull with this turn Timber Symbiosis here. This is a decent card here. So I feel pretty comfortable about that. And I got a card from the list. Thanks so much for passing. So we can do one more. We can do one more set booster just for the culture. Yeah, it was not bad though, so I am not altogether displeased with how that one went now. Let me see. Forest. There we go again. Seagate Banneret, Kabari Uprider, Stalwart Pat Beast, Thundering Rebuke, The Mage's Familiar. This is interesting. I don't know what to do with this card. It feel like a giant deck, or I feel like you got space for a giant deck. Moss Pit Skeleton, decent when it kicks. So 5 mana, 5/5. Repeatable 5 mana, 5/5. Reminds me of Brokos, except with trample, without trample. So Upland Hellhole, Seagate Colossus. Boom! Needle Growth Pathway, full art pathway. You called it, it's yours. Coveted prize, feed the swarm, insect, insect token. Look at that, look at that. We've gone all the way here, and we've met say happen. Hard luck, Anthony. This one was not yours, but congratulations, Tarek. You picked up a full art. Is it foil? It's not foil, but you picked up a full art pillar verge pathway, needle verge pathway. It's a nice little addition. Good job. So thanks as always for passing through the streams where we like magic, we build, we talk, we grow. All right, perfect. Eric said that is one he needs, and I'm happy to oblige. Because here we do magic for real, for real. Stay tuned, look up for upcoming Sunday standard event next week. Revamp prizes, revamp participation. Look out for entry. This will probably be the first paid tournament, but I'll make sure the prices are commensurate with the entry fee. And again, we train, we building, we growing. Continue to be here on the journey where we give thanks, appreciate it. We can catch up later. Anthony, we can do spell table, but probably not on the stream because I figured this was long enough already, and I need to get and stretch my legs. But show me afterwards, and we can make that happen. Manners and respect.